Mom, Dad's being weird again.
Luscious.
Honey,
So full.
it's just grass.
Oh, it's so much more than just grass. It's a healthier, greener, and more luscious lawn. Yours can be too.
Look at you.
With Kabursky Brothers Lawn Care.
Remember, no shoes on the lawn. Because you're so beautiful.
Call or click today.
Derek, what's the guarantee? Derek?
Mike, time to make history. Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circasports.com for details.
Murph and Andy, proudly presented by Ramsey Subaru, live and on demand across Iowa everywhere from the Channel Seed Studios. This is Murph and Andy. Murph and Andy, connected by Cellular Advantage.
Worldwide Murph and Andy, live from West Des Moines, Urbandale, and Switzerland, with the mic pointed in the right direction. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Murph. Yeah, you sound good. You sound good. Yeah, sometimes you gotta figure things out on the road there.
Well, it's good to be with you. It's 8 p.m. here, just after 8 p.m. The sun is setting. It's not as hot as it was the other day, but another great day to be at Lake Lucerne, Switzerland, having a wonderful time. How are things back there?
Well, you picked a good morning to miss. It was rainy and super dark here. It was like really dark. It was almost like a winter morning or something. But yeah, we had a system move through here and kind of give us a good drenching. But the sun is coming back out, and it's going to be a nice day. State Fair starts tomorrow, so obviously a lot of talk about that and activity. We will be live at the fair on Friday. With the show, we'll be over at JR South Pork Ranch. I think everybody knows where that is. It's kind of over near the horse barn. Great location with our friend Brooks Reynolds and company. So we'll be over there on Friday. We invite everybody to come join us. It's just going to be a great day. I think the first Friday of the fair is everybody's favorite night there. It's East Side night. It's still fresh and new, and it's going to be nice and warm. 92 degrees with a heat index now over 100 degrees as it's climbed up a little bit. But we will have beers within arm's length as we're there at JR South Pork Ranch. So I hope everybody comes out and joins us for that.
I'm sure they will. That's a travel day for us. We are back Saturday, but looking forward to getting home. That's when you know you've had a good vacation, when you have nothing but good times to talk about and a great experience, but you're also ready to get home. And the downside of traveling abroad, as you know, and it's something I haven't done till later in life, is that the travel days are exhausting. So they really require you to have as much time as possible between the couple of travel days, or when we were getting here is actually like 2 days of travel just to get here. But it is worth it to see the world, and we're having a great time. And since I got to Switzerland, I just find myself, whatever topic comes up, like when it's on ThrowDowns later, I'm just neutral. Like I don't want to take a side on anything.
That's being in Switzerland will do that.
Yeah,
to you. Yeah, you have no opinions. You just kind of sit there silent.
Right.
Fix your watch, do your skiing, count your money.
And so much of what they brand here is the Swiss Army, from Swiss Army knives or the Swiss military. Like a lot of stuff gets branded with the Swiss militia. Just what is that? When have they been called into action?
Never. Yeah, I mean, there's the Swiss Army is worthless. I mean, it's got a wine corkscrew on the knife, for God's sakes. I mean, nobody really in the Army needs a corkscrew. So they go out there in the mountains with some wine and sit down and pull out their Swiss Army knives and open it and drink it. I mean, that's what they do. But yeah, I mean that the Swiss Army brand has been
right. It's a big
revered
brand
since I was a little kid. I mean, that was like you felt awesome about getting your first Swiss Army knife, and then And then the knives kept getting bigger, and then they got up to the one called, I think, the Champion, that had it was like that thick, and it had all those different blades. And then Gerber comes out with that multi-tool, or what is it? Actually, there's a different brand that has the Leatherman. The Leatherman multi-tool comes out, and that just kind of puts the Swiss Army Champion to shame. And ever since then, I don't know. The Swiss, they make watches, man. The best watches in the world. They got some cool dogs. You see any St. Bernards or anything over there? Any Bernese Mountain Dogs or Greater
There are
Swiss
dogs
Mountain
everywhere. Dogs are allowed on the trains, the planes, the buses, restaurants, everywhere. And Jenny and I love dogs. Jenny really loves dogs. So she's petting dogs, going to see dogs, saying hello to dogs, and sometimes there's a language barrier, but yeah, there are dogs everywhere here. So it's a dog-friendly place for sure.
Dogs, knives, watches, banks, cheese. Yeah, there's Andrew with his Swiss Army knife.
I carry one.
Knife. Yeah, I have one in my car at all times. Yep, I do.
It made me wonder, like, what did it do to the Swiss economy when smartphones came out, and gradually over time, many people, I'm one of these people, finally stopped wearing a watch because you're like, well, I got a clock right here. I've got a timepiece on my phone. Took me a long time. I did both for a while, but now I'm watchless. But Andy, timepiece watch stores here are like porn stores in Tampa. They're every other
Can't swing a dead cat without hitting one. Yeah, well, I don't know that watches are less popular than they used to be. I mean, Apple Watches are crazy popular. Everybody has those. I mean,
that's true.
God forbid that Americans should ever go ahead and continue to buy something that they don't need. We don't take that into account. So I don't know. I still think you should get a really cool watch. I mean, you're in Switzerland. Get a Swiss watch. Go treat yourself. Go get an Omega, or you don't have to get a Rolex, but I mean, there's so many other ones. Go get an Omega. Draw the line and say like $8,000 is all you're going to spend, and then
$8,000. Yeah. Every storefront looks like one of the ad placements in the movie F1. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember seeing that brand and that brand and that brand. Yeah, they're everywhere. Last night we came into the Montana, the name of our hotel. I would like to have seen Montana, and this is where Andrew's parents were when they were here, and we went to Louis' Bar. It's named after Louis Armstrong, and there's a wooden sculpture of Louis Armstrong in front of this really cool jazz bar. And they play a lot of Louis Armstrong music. It's got a Hemingway rum bar in the back. Mm-hmm. So we go in there and we're like, oh man, no one's here. There's one couple sitting in Louis' Bar. So Jenny and I walk in, the bar's wide open, this couple is sitting in the corner, and that's it in the entire place, and this is a big hotel. And we walk in, and the guy goes, Keith Murphy! And
the one guy?
The one and his wife, and we walk over to them, and it is Deb and Tom Miller. They are from Polk City. Tom is friends with Doug Eklund, who is longtime U.S. Cellular, the Cellular Advantage, and we sat down. They invited us over, and we sat there. We talked to them. They had visited us on RV TV when it was in Polk City years ago, and just had a wonderful time talking to them. Really nice people, and we were the only four people in the bar. We were all from Iowa.
It's a small world, isn't it?
A small world, yeah.
It's funny in the random places that you're reminded of that in the world.
Yep.
Have you figured out why? Now, the day you came in when there was nobody there, it was because it was Swiss Independence Day, right? We don't quite know the story behind that. Why was it empty this time?
I'm not sure, because the night before there were many more people in there. There is the Hemingway rum bar in the back. You can also smoke back there, and that's the most crowded part of the bar. Anybody that does come in tends to go back there and shut the door. We visited there when it was empty, but we don't sit back there. If you're not smoking a cigar, you don't really want to be in cigar smoke.
No.
Because you're leaving with it. It's like the old days of bars in Iowa when you would wear the bar home on your clothes.
Do you see any cigarette smoking around in Switzerland?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
A couple of things you can count on is Europeans smoking cigarettes and occasionally being next to someone who needed a shower about 2 weeks ago.
I mean, I told you that up in Scandinavia, I hardly saw any cigarette smoking at all, which was shocking to me because, they, like all the Europeans, smoked a lot. But I think they kind of went cold turkey, which is supposed to be the best way to quit. I mean, it might be a little more difficult to get an entire region of Europe to do that, but evidently they didn't. They didn't do that down in Switzerland.
No, they didn't do it. Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for today's sports and more. Coming up, the NFL owns ESPN, NCAA Good Call, and Naked Gun review from Mr. Movie. It's an extreme review. Which way will it go with Mike Woody, Mr. Movie? That's all coming up, presented by Guest House Tavern and Oyster. Nightly specials every Wednesday, we remind you. That's tonight, Walleye Wednesday, fresh walleye and salt and vinegar fries, $20. $20, what I wouldn't give here in Switzerland for walleye and fries for $20. $20, that'll get me a bag of chips here. It's expensive.
Well, and we have the best food. I mean, seriously. I mean, you can go around and find nice food in other parts of the world here and there, but I mean, first of all, it's all catered to our tastes. But America's got the best food.
Let's go high or low since the last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax is located up in Ankeny, although they can help you right over the phone or over your computer. Get your retirement portfolios all together, answer your questions about money and how to make it work as hard as it possibly can for you right now. Tim Hawkins and company are there. I'm going to go high here today, this week, debuting on Channel 13, the WHO 13 News, is my longtime friend, Samantha Mesa, which is amazing because it wasn't too long ago, wasn't even a year ago on this show, or a little over a year ago, I guess, on this show, we said goodbye to her as she moved away from Des Moines, left Channel 5 and went to Grand Rapids, Michigan. She was hired, that company is Scripps Company, the Scripps media conglomerate. Hired her and some other people, and I think 7 months in, handed down from the corporate brass was an order to lay off all of the full-time anchors at that TV station and many other Scripps stations around the country. So she just, like, all of a sudden the job just was not there anymore. And so they can be like, no, you weren't fired. You just don't have a job anymore. Corporate.
Well, does that
bullshit.
mean a check is still coming in? No, there won't be a check. But just so there's no misunderstanding, you have not been fired.
Yeah,
it's
it's
an elimination of job.
Yeah, why would we write the check when there's no job to write the check to? So
there's no need to have a news anchor in a newscast. What?
Fortunately for Samantha, her fiance and my friend Chris Gannon had not sold his house here yet. He was going to. He's trying to. He was moving with her, but had not sold his house in Johnston. Was still working at Iowa State, and she was able to just come right back here, and we snapped her up. So
that's awesome.
She debuted this week. She's fantastic. Very, very talented. A fun, pleasant person to work with. And she will be moving into the slot, basically, that's being vacated by our good friend, Janae Town, so this is kind of a good news, bad news picture here.
Right.
Janae Town is leaving at the end of next week, leaving Channel 13. I'll save more of that for later on, but that's kind of the big news. So we've got Samantha in for now, and it's great to have her. And very soon we'll have to say goodbye to Janae. So a lot going on while you're gone.
Yeah, I'm so glad Samantha's here. That is just a wonderful couple. I look forward to getting to know them even better. So I'm glad they're here, and we will talk more about Janae leaving soon because she's somebody I look forward to every day. I can't think of a time I didn't see Janae where it didn't make the moment better. It's like, oh, Janae, I just brighten up when I see her. But we'll talk more about that later. I'm going high as well, and many people are watching or listening through Facebook right now, and Facebook is where we had several of the people on my Facebook page recommended that Jenny and I here in Lucerne take the Golden Round Trip. So we did that.
Beautiful.
And first we took it's a boat ride, an hour, nearly an hour and a half, with some stops to pick people up, drop people off on Lake Lucerne. And then we took the world's steepest cogway rail to Mount Pilatus. It's like straight up, and you end up 7,000 feet above sea level. So that's more than 1.3 miles. And then after taking some really, breathtaking photos and getting all the views, some of which really don't translate by photo, but it just takes your breath away, kind of like the Grand Canyon does. And this is Lake Lucerne is one of the few green lakes in the world, and it is really green. You can't even make sense of it. But then we took a cable car, and for those of you who follow movies, think Sylvester Stallone and Cliffhanger.
The
one
gondola.
Of those,
the
yeah,
gondola.
no,
Yep.
this is the cable car. And then that takes you down to a gondola. The gondolas seat like 4 people, and they're really small.
Oh, okay. All right. This is
so,
a giant gondola. All right.
Yeah, this is this gets you partway down the mountain, then gondola 3 different stops, and then bus back in. Whole trip. What was it, Jenny? About 7 or 8 hours for the whole thing. But it was
Beautiful.
Really worth it. Here's a little bit of the video that I shot that hopefully we'll play here. We'll give it a shot. Do you see it?
Yes, I do. Yeah, it looks
Okay.
really good. Yep, nice
Yeah,
and green. Looks like you stepped up the saturation on the filter a little bit. It looks great.
Yeah, no, it shot through the iPhone. If that's a move I can make to make myself look younger, send me the.
No, I
deets
just
on that.
sometimes if you bump the saturation up, you can make things look extra green.
Oh,
but
okay.
maybe they
No,
didn't need
it's
there. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one place that's really green. I'm not seeing that where I am. As we established Monday, I have unfortunately a weak signal here. So right now, I'm just getting the buffering thing that's going
this
round
looks great.
and round.
Yeah.
So you can do some play-by-play of this. I'm not sure what we're seeing.
We've got an old man playing a very large horn here. I can't remember the name of that horn.
This is where I sang Ricola. Or is it
Ricola? Yeah.
Ricola.
Ricola. Yeah, the cough drops. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was beautiful up there. It was a little bit crowded, and Jenny and I are not big get in line with a bunch. Oh, here's Jenny. I do see this up on the zip line.
Oh, I thought she was kind of like that was like a power cable or something.
Yeah,
That's
no, I'm
dangerous.
kidding. That's not her. And then we're riding. This is in the gondola.
That's
There's
a gondola.
2,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
A couple of were they German or Swiss tourists? Yeah. So there's Andy. This is interesting because you told me this and I didn't completely understand it. So a guy today told us though, even though they speak Swiss German here, some Germans can't understand what a Swiss German language, like when they're speaking Swiss German, sometimes the German can't quite understand what they're saying. Kind of like when we listen to somebody from Scotland with a really heavy accent, we're like, I can't understand. It's English, but you can't make sense of it. They said sometimes there's confusion about that. And here in Switzerland, since there's so many influences, many of the kids speak 3 or 4 languages.
Oh, yeah.
They learn French, they learn English, they learn
Probably know Italian.
Swiss German, they know some Italian. So, yeah, and we just walk around like, one language dumbasses all the time, and people help us out. But, hey, that's the way it goes. Let's get the buzz here on a Wednesday.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
All right, so the NFL now owns 10% of ESPN. What could possibly go wrong? It's a move made by ESPN in this direct-to-consumer digital age, and this means that ESPN has the NFL has a seat at the table for how its games are covered, how they're streamed, how they're monetized. So, Andy, to state the obvious here, ESPN is now going from content supplier to being in the content distribution business with the ESPN. So the NFL's 10% stake does give ESPN more of an incentive to prioritize NFL content over other sports, but I don't know that makes any difference. Like, how much can you prioritize the NFL? It made a big difference when ESPN lost as you know, as an NHL hockey fan, when ESPN lost the rights to NHL games, many hockey fans felt like ESPN stopped showing as many highlights, stopped doing as many stories, stopped covering as much, stopped putting as much on the web page. But how much will this matter? Because the NFL is now an owner of ESPN, and just like you and me, to some extent, how much will this matter to journalism? I mean, they have a conflict of interest now. The NFL owns part of their network.
Well, but the ESPN owns a bunch of NFL stuff now, too. They own the NFL Network. They own the Red Zone. They own the NFL's fantasy football stuff. So, I mean, these guys are deep into bed together now, not like, they weren't to begin with, but, I mean, now it's like financial. But, the NFL is too powerful. I mean, I think we could say that. I mean, we haven't seen it really affect things in a negative way too many times, but it could potentially do that. I mean, the NFL just they have like Standard Oil type control over the sports market in America. I mean, there are a lot of different sports, and the NFL doesn't have control over the other ones, but they're so dominant that they kind of do. I mean, they absolutely directly affect all of the other leagues and how they're covered, how they're promoted, when their seasons can run, when they can schedule events. I mean, the NFL has so much power that I'm not sure there's any checking them down. And you got to have checks and balances.
Yeah, and this does not help that at all, because the NFL is the most powerful entertainment entity in the United States.
Yes.
I don't know what's a close second. I mean, it is as powerful as it can get. And of course, this is going to influence some of ESPN's reporting, some of its decisions. It also is not a coincidence that it's coming right as ESPN is about to launch its direct-to-consumer service, where ESPN is going to make all of its services available on one app, one platform, as everything moves towards the digital future. And they're making a deal to ensure that. They're going to bundle cross-promote services like the NFL Sunday Ticket, Red Zone, which is now in effect owned by ESPN, even ESPN Plus content, where we see not only Iowa and Iowa State play frequently, but Drake and UNI and many sports. Those are all going to be part of this package that they're going to push, and it's going to be expensive. Like, you're going to have to buy this if you want to see these ESPN products. And if you're a fan, you're going to want to see these products. I mean, if you're a Hawkeye, Cyclone, Bulldog, Panther, NFL fan, you're going to need this ESPN bundle.
It is funny how quickly our sentiments toward the a la carte streaming possibilities have turned.
Yeah.
Remember, I mean, what was it, maybe 7-8 years ago? We were all licking our chops over this and thinking, oh, this is great. I'll only have to buy what I want to watch. I'm only gonna I'm gonna save money. I mean, my bill is going to be much simpler. I'm going to just kind of at this point, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to be set for the rest of my life. I can cut the cable, cut the cord. I mean, that was like the big thing, cutting the cord. Oh man, it's going to be great cutting the cord. Well, we've come 180 degrees right now. I mean, we're now, I think, many of us pay more than we were paying before. You're paying it to several different entities, and you're always seeing these services kind of splinter into subgroups and subsidiaries where you end up having to buy those also, right? Or add those to your existing plan. So, I mean, basically, this is kind of just going back to the way it was before, right? Where instead of paying Mediacom or DirecTV or Dish Network, you're going to be paying ESPN or the NFL or YouTube or something like that for all the different services that come underneath those umbrellas.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the old "this is a be careful what you wish for" move, because I was in on that kind of celebration of the end of cable and thinking this was going to be a la carte, and I'll just get what I want. But there's just no way to actually do that here. They just find ways to make you buy other services. And I know this isn't a big passion of ours, but there are millions of fans of the WWE, and ESPN just announced on this same day that they're also going to have SummerSlam, and all the big WWE events are now going to this ESPN platform that you'll have to buy. And I think it launches, somebody just said on here, what is it, August 27th or so, 21st? So it's about to launch, and it's not a coincidence. They make these two huge deals of these mega entertainment packages, WWE and the NFL, and they announce them essentially within 24 hours as they get ready to launch this direct-to-consumer digital app that you're going to have. It also shows how much things have changed. ESPN doesn't have the power with its sports centers and its old talking heads type shows and debate shows like it used to. The power is now in the games themselves. I mean, more than ever, it's the games. And we know that even at NBC, like the most powerful thing on NBC by far, not even close, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, and ESPN has shown games for forever. I mean, they've shown a lot of games, but, you know, as the viewing audience and our habits change, the leagues that sell those games, that put those games on, sell the rights to them, they're asking for more money because they know that those are so much more appealing now and so much more lucrative. And, you know, the funny thing, I think where I get duped the most is, so you'd think going in, okay, I just buy this new ESPN thing, I'll get the NFL and I'll get all the WWE that I want, and then I won't have to pay for anything else, and it won't be any pay-per-view or anything. But then down the road, I mean, you know damn well, because we've been through this enough times, you know damn well that these entities will be like, oh, no, okay, so you don't get the WWE events anymore. You don't get all of them, you get some of them, but now we've made this new super premium WWE app and channel where now you can get the big events, but you have to up your package to the super premium level and pay more for it than they do with Amazon and Netflix, everything these days. We know, we've been here before, we know where it's going.
Quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale.
Who benefits most from the NFL owning part of ESPN? Is it ESPN, the NFL, us fans, or other networks and leagues?
It's probably ESPN. I think it ultimately is going to hurt journalism. We're going to hear from ESPN that their ethics will not be compromised in any way, shape, or form, that tough reporting will begin. They will speak truth to power. None of that changes. But we've all been in enough newsrooms to know that's just not the case. When money is involved, compromises are made with journalism.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know, it's hard to imagine anybody being able to do more for the NFL than the NFL can do for them. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's right. That's a good way to put it.
I don't think that, I do think the NFL is going to get a lot of good out of this, but I think the ESPN is going to get more, and just being more associated and deeper into bed with the NFL. I mean, it's going to change them, no doubt, but their future, at least the immediate future, is secure.
And Reverend Ray takes a hit and says, wonder what this will be like for gambling. And that's another part of this is gambling. The league no longer shuns gambling, and ESPN no longer shuns gambling. So we'll see what happens there. The NFL, by the way, has banned smelling salts. George Kittle is not happy about this. George Kittle starts every 49ers drive, or has in the past, with a hit of smelling salts. And this goes back to like my high school football days. When you needed to wake up a little bit, you'd use smelling salts. But now we're down like no smelling salts. The days of no water are now gone. Spearing is gone. Stickum is out of the game. The 1980s football is not really recognizable anymore. In most of those ways, that's probably good.
Yeah, can't lead with your helmet anymore.
Can't lead with your helmet. Yeah, can't kill the quarterback.
The Kittle story with the smelling salts, or what the ammonia, they're not really smelling salt. Yeah, they're smelling ammonia. But that was like simultaneously shocking and not the least bit surprising. You just kind of know. He seems like the kind of guy that likes to keep himself just wired as much as possible, and apparently this helps. And I don't know, as much reading as I could do, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of major health concerns that come with using the ammonia if you're just kind of smelling it. It's not like huffing gas or lighter fluid or crazy glue or something.
Good.
But it is apparently it's very dangerous to people that have asthma or COPD, which I can't imagine a whole lot of NFL players, professional athletes having that, but some, it's just one of those things where you have to kind of like lay out the health standards for the entire population, and then, just say, okay, well, here's where we stand on this as the CDC, and then everybody else has to kind of, decide how much it applies to them. But I don't know. I guess I thought, to me, what stands out to me is that those are the kind of things that you would use to cover up a head injury. To revive quickly after you got your bell rung, to get somebody snapped out of a head injury and back into the game. And that's absolutely not what today's football wants to be associated with.
That's true.
At all.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that's got something to do with this policy, in that it does harken back to an era where, he got one or two concussions in the first half, but I mean, he could spell his name. He could still walk. He was all right. He came back out for the second half.
Yeah, Kittle is using it like NFL Red Bull, but
he's using it like a vape pen.
Yeah, in my day, it was used like somebody's out on the field and they wave it until you wake up.
Yeah, right. Waking you up. Rather than saying, man, this dude is knocked out. He's got to be out for the whole game.
Explains a lot. Interact on YouTube. You can email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. On X, it's Murph_Andy. And it is all powered by Doug Eklund and the Cellular Advantage, now with 35 regional locations. Proud partner with U.S. Cellular since 1993.
Really big news from Cellular Advantage and U.S. Cellular today. U.S. Cellular has merged with T-Mobile.
Oh, so, the merger went through, Jenny.
Yes, that is the that is now T-Mobile, far and away the biggest cellular network in America, and that is really good news for people that have U.S. Cellular and T-Mobile, that these two have joined together. Doug has been talking about this for at least 5 years.
Long time.
It's been in the works. It's a huge deal, but that's a good thing for people that are with U.S. Cellular or looking at doing that. You're going to have better reception coverage than ever.
The NCAA, when it gets one right, deserves some credit. So here comes some credit. Not expanding the NCAA basketball tournaments for 2026. Clearly wanted to, but there was universal backlash from anyone who does not have a financial incentive like a bonus or a TV network that's going to make more money by having more games. No one wants this that doesn't have a financial incentive, so they got it right. But they didn't say we're going to stick to this. They just said we're not expanding this year. Yeah. They could still expand in 2027, and they'll probably try again. They're probably using the strategy. Somebody has told them each time there will be less resistance to the idea.
Yes.
But this time, let's not do it, because it's money. It's all about money. No surprise.
Or the next time they'll say something like, we are expanding, but not yet. They'll be like, we are expanding in we are going to expand soon, but we're going to keep things the way they are for 2027, and then they'll expand in 2028. But yeah, you kind of know the progression of the way the delivery of news that is really good to one side and really bad to the other goes. The way that they roll that up in a special wrapper. It's sad that these days, like, the best news that can come from the NCAA is something they didn't do. You know? But yeah, you have got I think what everybody believes is a perfect product. I just don't ever hear from anybody that feels like the NCAA can improve it by messing with it.
They don't need more teams. We know that. The George Niang homecoming in Massachusetts did not last long.
It was short.
He's already traded to Utah, back to Utah. So Niang and Luca Garza, the latest Cy-Hawk connection, that didn't really ever get a chance. Never had a chance, Andy. George going back to Utah.
Well, at least we've already got pictures of him in Jazz jerseys, so it makes it
easy.
A whole lot easier for the 10 o'clock sports to throw George Niang in Utah gear out there.
All right, how about a pop quiz for Andy? All right, Andy, listen to the following from Matt Campbell.
Okay.
Did Matt Campbell say this before training camp at Iowa State in year 4, year 7, or year 10?
To have those guys come back and come around the team and watch how we practice, see the facilities, you're just really grateful. You're grateful that, obviously we've had great support from our administration, from Jamie and from, Wendy. We've had great leadership to continue to support a vision of where we want to take this program. But I think the thing you're really grateful for are the people internally too that have worked here, stayed here, sacrificed, maybe bigger and better things to say, no, we want to build something. And, I've always said this with our own team, like, you're either somebody that wants to be somebody or you're somebody that wants to do something. And I know for the majority of our staff, we've been the type of people that we want to do something.
All right, again.
So 4, 7, or 10?
Year 4, 7, or year 10. So before year 4, before year 7, or before year 10, in training camp going into the season, which year did Matt Campbell say what you just heard?
Okay, I don't know. I'm going to say that right off the bat here. Okay,
no one could know.
Could be anywhere.
Right.
But I'm going to say it's year 7 because I don't think he would mention Dr. Winterstein at this point, and he also looks a little younger.
He said it this week.
Oh, no, really?
Year 10.
Well, I mean, Dr. Winterstein did help in the past, but jeez. See, I was listening to Sears was running a bite last night or the night before, I don't remember, with Campbell, and I was listening to it, and I was like, I was to the point where I was like, okay, I know what he's talking about. And then all of a sudden, it took a turn and lost me. It like threw me off. And I didn't know what he was talking about after that. And I was like, I asked Sears, I was like, what is he talking about there? And he was like, I don't know.
And now here's an influencer on the famous Chapel Bridge in Lake Lucerne.
And just act if you're later. Ooh, ice cream good. Ice cream yummy. Ice cream good. Wow, this is having later. Woo-hoo! Let's go eat fish. Yo, it's like Julian. Guys, taking lights is the first night. The bigger the cheese, the bigger the show. The bigger the cheese, the bigger the show. Ooh, ice cream yummy.
Ooh, ice cream yummy.
Ice cream yummy.
I can't believe you did this to this dude. Just started rolling on it.
Oh, yeah. That's Jenny.
Yeah, totally, Jenny. You wouldn't have done that. That's awesome.
So, bigger the cheese, bigger the show. Bigger the cheese, bigger the show.
He's got his own little selfie stand with him.
And
like
ice cream yummy.
He's like repeating.
Bigger the cheese, the bigger the show. Bigger the cheese, like the more powerful you are, the bigger the cheese, bigger the show, bigger the flash. Bigger the cheese, bigger the show.
I love random people in foreign countries. You're just like, what is going on? Because like you have no frame of reference there. You have no idea what the dude's doing. If somebody else that lives there might have an idea.
Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy. Confluence is where Old Tavern keeps selling out, and they keep making more. So if you can't get it, be patient. It'll be back in soon. And I have had
saw it on the shelves in
many
Fairway
beers here.
the other day. They've
Old
got
Taverns in
they,
Fairway?
They
Yeah.
got it back out. Yep, it's out there.
All right, Andy, it's your time to shine. Let's get some more.
But wait, there's more. From Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Turning into a really nice day for the patio over at Either Or Eatery and Patio. All kinds of great food and drink there at 6222 Grand Avenue. Today is National Root Beer Day, or as some people in Iowa say, National Root Beer Day.
Root beer.
Yeah. So Americans have been making beverages from sassafras roots since the 1700s. It's really an American drink, root beer is. But it wasn't until the 1870s that Charles Hires developed his own blend of spices and marketed his version of root tea, and he called it root beer. At the Philadelphia Centennial Exhibition of 1876, celebrating America's 100th birthday.
Do you guys remember being kids and just, being so excited when you'd have a mug of, I'm having a beer. Yeah, I'm having a root beer.
Oh, yeah.
You just
had the foamy head on it, kind of looked like a dark beer. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't believe the name beer was in the name and you were allowed to have it.
An A&W, a draft A&W root beer served in a frosty mug at an old school A&W was like, I don't know that beverages have ever gotten any better than that.
That guy on the bridge would have been like, ooh, yummy.
Ooh, root beer.
Yummy.
Root beer, man. Like that. Oh, yeah.
Root
Give me
beer,
that.
yummy.
Root. Either one. Good for me.
Oh, yeah. Bigger the cheese, bigger the show.
Jeez. So the Centennial Exhibition was a pretty big one. We had some pretty big products there at that exhibition. Alexander Graham Bell is there with his telephone thing that he's just come up with. Heinz Ketchup debuting for the first time. And the Remington typewriter, which
really,
in a way, is still connected to us today.
Yeah.
One of the major ingredients of root beer, though, was sassafras oil. That's a plant root extract used in beverages for its flavor, and it's presumed medicinal purposes, but actually, as they kind of analyze the sassafras roots, they realized later on, toward like the 1950s, that it's got this carcinogen and liver-damaging chemical called safrole in it, and then it's banned in 1960. It's causing cancer. Process later discovered by which the harmful chemical could be removed. You can still have the flavor, and we've got root beer today. Hires root beer, I think, actually existed until the early 80s. So if you've seen that before...
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do kind of remember that, or maybe I just remember seeing old bottles like in antique shops or something like that. Speaking
Our
of beer...
family got that cheap crap, and when you got to have the A&W... just tasted so much better than the cheap cans from the grocery store.
Vess is what we had at St. Louis.
Yeah.
Speaking of beer, the real kind, 515 Brewing in Clive is up for sale. Andrew, you know this beer, don't you?
Yeah, big fan.
Fantastic beer at 515 Brewing, but I'll have to say, unless I went there, I would have never known they were still open. I never heard it advertised. I don't remember getting any media advisories from them. They won a bunch of awards one year, and I remember reading about that somewhere in like a trade magazine, and we talked about it on the Murph and Andy show, and I heard from the guys over at 515, and they were really, really appreciative and thought it was great.
Sure.
But I just never saw. You have to keep the word out there. You just have to.
You do. Yeah.
Even if you've got an amazing, like they have amazing products there, but I just didn't ever hear about them. Mark Freund is a big fan. He and I were kind of talking about it yesterday. I hope that somebody buys up this beer, this brewery, and the recipes.
If I had to sum up your feelings about keeping the name out there, advertising, I would say bigger the cheese, bigger the show.
Yeah, right. Or the other way around. Big show, big cheese.
Yeah.
You want to keep the cheese big, you got to have a big show. Home Depot is unveiling their Halloween 2025 collection. It's a bunch of really big, super scary animatronics that go in your front yard. And this stood out to me because there were a few years where my kids would not go to Home Depot with me at all, especially Elin, because she was so scared of the Halloween display near the front of the store. Like these huge, like really scary animatronics, like pretty intense stuff they've got at Home Depot.
Yeah, you look at it through a kid's eyes, and it's like skeletons that are alive and stuff. And
Well, terrified them. They would scream when we would get near it and stuff. Didn't even want to go to the parking lot. All right, now, Murph, here's a dirty dad joke told by a dirty grandpa.
My penis was in the Guinness Book of World Records, but then the librarian told me to take it out.
Reports say Denmark is planning to remove a mermaid statue that people there have called pornographic, and something that presents a completely unrealistic picture of real women.
Did you take this photo?
No, I didn't. I didn't see this when I was there. This is kind of in a different part of Copenhagen. It is located down at the Drager Fort, which is this old military fort. It's outside there. In Denmark, or in Copenhagen, they call this the Big Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is another. This is the famous Little Mermaid. I did take this picture. This is patterned after the Hans Christian Andersen story, The Little Mermaid. Back to that in a minute.
Yeah, Andy, just a second. There are people upset that a statue of a mermaid doesn't realistically portray what the average woman looks like. And from her waist down, she's a fish.
Yeah, you can kind of see. You can't really see the tail in this shot here. I mean, you look at this mermaid. She's got a huge rack. I mean,
Turkey the cat says she's had breast implants.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be able to dive too deep with these things on. But anyway, the Danish Agency for Palaces and Culture is reportedly removing the 4x6 meter Den Store Havfru. That is Danish for the Big Mermaid. It's part of Copenhagen's former sea fortifications. The fort is. They're removing it because it does not align with the cultural heritage of the fort, of the landmark there. An art critic from there, Matthias Krieger, says he has branded the statue ugly and pornographic. Serene Gottfredson, a priest and journalist, wrote in the newspaper, erecting a statue of a man's hot dream of what a woman should look like is unlikely to promote many women's acceptance of their own bodies.
But the lower half is a fishtail.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the lower half is a fish, but yeah, I know if it's going to be fantastic, it may as well just be. I mean, because the Little Mermaid thing it's a kid's story, but it's kind of erotic to adults as well, right? The idea of this mermaid coming out of the sea and falling in love with you.
Splash.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have taken the mermaid motif in this direction in the past, so it shouldn't be a surprise. Copenhagen does have the Little Mermaid, much better known as it's the top tourist attraction in all of Denmark. It is a tribute to Denmark's famous writer Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, The Princess and the Pea, The Emperor's New Clothes, Thumbelina. He was big, huge. So everybody goes to see The Little Mermaid, and some people wanted more.
Bigger the cheese, bigger the show.
They wanted, like, the bigger the mermaid, the bigger her boobs should be. So anyway, they got that with us, but apparently that is short-lived. More news from Denmark now. A zoo in Aalborg, which is the northern part of the country, it's the country's second largest city, is asking people to donate their small pets to feed the predators that live there. The Aalborg Zoo says it wants to copy the natural food chain to help with animal welfare and professional integrity. The zoo promises that donated pets like guinea pigs, rabbits, and chickens will be gently euthanized by trained staff before they're used as food.
Aw. I thought the chase would be part of the attraction.
part
That's
of the
awful.
circle of life.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. That would be awful. But
this is where my hypocrisy comes in here. I mean, I know this is the circle of life, but I don't want to think about it in this way.
Watch out, teeny and tiny.
Yeah, right.
No.
I mean, it's meat, right? Isn't it going to waste? Isn't it really? I mean, it's dead. It's going to be dead, right? An unwanted pet is a horrible, sad thing. I don't know.
It is. Yeah. Oof.
It's
Yeah,
just it's kind of a rough headline.
You don't want to think about it.
Bring in your used pets. We'll put them to good use. Now here's Matt Banwart, whom I don't know, but seems like he'd be a pretty good hang, talking about the top places in Des Moines to rip a cig.
Top spots to rip cigs in Des Moines, Iowa. From the city that brought you Slipknot. If the water quality doesn't get to you, the air quality will soon too. Number 5, El Bait Shop. What do you do at bars? Rip cigs. What do you do while fishing? Rip cigs. What do you do at bars themed around fishing? Rip cigs. Just simple math. Number 4, Carl's Place. Only 3 blocks from the hospital. It's like this place is challenging you to get lung cancer. Number 3, Stevie C's and Grimes. I mean, just look at this interior and tell me you don't want to rip a cig. Number 2, the Fremont. I think I did a stand-up comedy show there in 2017, and I can still smell the place. Honorable mentions, Lefty's Live Music and every bar in Ingersoll. Number 1, the parking lot at Principal Park. Say that 5 times fast. The only thing more stressful than the Cubs is their AAA team.
Wow.
That's pretty funny.
That's a good bit.
Have you heard of
That's
the
a good
place in
bit.
Grimes before? What, Stevie C's? I've never heard of that. You heard
No,
of that,
I don't
Murph?
know that place. No, I guess I need to get there after leaving Europe.
Rip a cig. We'll finish up with this. A 3-hour search in Soda Springs, Idaho, resulted in the finding of a body in the Blackfoot River. Sort of. Sheriff Adam Mabey says his office received a report of a body floating in the river about 16 miles north of town. The drones went up and the search teams went out until they found what they were looking for. It was not a body. It turned out to be a life-size sex doll. Maybe says there's no way to tell who ditched it into the river, but if the dumped doll's owner is found, he's going to be charged with littering. Wow, that is way realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see that floating in a river, you do call the police, I think.
Yeah, I think you would. It's not a mermaid.
Yeah, it almost looks like, the Little Mermaid or the Big Mermaid. Like somebody would be like, oh, my God, there's an attractive woman in the river. I'm going to go find her and rescue her. But that is, some of those dolls, man, way too aren't some of those like $100,000 and stuff? They make them so realistic. That's crazy.
This is something to ask Sipker on Friday.
Look, if you've got a life-size sex doll and you want to get rid of her, I mean, dispose of her responsibly. Don't just dump it.
Yeah, don't take her to that animal place.
Yeah, don't take her to that. I mean, what do you do though? I mean, if you're gonna cut it up and put it in your garbage can, you better do it, late at night and under the cover of darkness. Your neighbors might see that and think there was a grisly murder going on to call the police. That's your more, everybody.
Grimaldi's fan photos can be sent in to Murph_Andy at IowaEverywhere.com, presented by Grimaldi's coal-fired brick oven pizza, West Des Moines, or District at Prairie Trail in Ankeny each Friday, including this coming Friday at the State Fair. Give away a $50 gift card to a person who sends in a cool fan photo. Can be of anything, just you, your friends, family, having a good time. Ladies and gentlemen,
I just got some bad breaking news. Mike Woody's computer has gone on the fritz, and he is not going to be able to join us today.
Oh, man.
He just texted me. He's tried everything.
Can you text him back and let him know that I'm in Switzerland and I'm on?
Well, it's you don't
know that's
going to
help
anything. South
anything.
of Grand.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, same.
But let's roll the open anyway, and we can talk a little bit about the movies. Really sorry not to see Mr. Movie, but I think we can get through the content, and we'll catch up with him next Wednesday.
It's time to go to the movies with Mr. Movie, Mike Woody, presented by P&P Small Engines.
All right, it can happen. Mike's computer has taken a dump, but Mr. Movie is presented let's pretend he's here, by P&P Small Engines. And Andy, it's a big week for Jeff and P&P Small Engines, or it's starting to be a big week because they have a big presence out at the State Fair.
Yeah, Jeff is busy today setting up. I think he's got 2 or 3 big tents there, kind of toward the middle where all that kind of stuff is set up. But he's got State Fair deals. Stop by and just shoot the shit with him. He likes to do that. You'll find P&P Small Engines, really just a whole big line of lawnmowers and lawn equipment there with good prices on them for the next 11 days at the State Fair.
Mr. Movie picked our out-of-the-box topic, and it is a movie that takes place in Seattle. We've been working our way through American cities here. Seattle is the choice this week, and my choice is Say Anything with John Cusack. This is a wonderful movie. I think most people watching have probably seen this. I mean, Lloyd is one of the great characters in a movie. He's just optimistic. You can see him just being the kind of guy who everybody liked in high school. He just kind of knows how to shapeshift to whoever he's talking to. And he has this big crush on Diane Court, the best-looking girl, smartest girl in school. And he gets a date with Diane Court, and no one can figure out how he did it. And I remember there's a scene where they're like, man, how'd you get Diane Court to go out with you, man? He's like, I asked her.
Yeah.
Wow,
Everybody was intimidated by her.
Yeah, wow, okay. And then the movie, like there's the famous scene where he talks about his professional plan where it's a life of kickboxing that he has ahead of him. He doesn't want to process meats, all that great scene. But it also takes a more poignant turn when Diane's father goes to prison for tax evasion? I forget what it's for. But just a great line there with, I'm incarcerated, Lloyd.
Yeah.
I'm incarcerated.
He's done a few things wrong there, but he hasn't reported all this extra income from these people in his retirement homes.
Oh, that's what it is.
But
retirement home.
He's taken advantage of them. He's pretty bad.
Yeah, he has, and it's the famous scene, of course, is the over-the-head boombox with the Peter Gabriel song "In Your Eyes." He's holding up the boombox. Now, this is a little bit of a cheat because, like so many movies, this movie was almost entirely filmed in Vancouver to save money. Very little of it was filmed in Seattle, but it does take place in Seattle, so that's my choice. Andy, what are you going with?
I'll pick another Cameron Crowe movie here, and I mean that's his town, so he's all about it. And I kind of like it when directors stay regional, like to themselves. I mean, they put movies in the cities that they're from, the regions that they're from, and they have kind of this intimate knowledge of that city. So it's not presented like in a stereotype, where Seattle is a city that you could probably really stereotype very easily in movies. Mm-hmm. But Cameron Crowe always shows you, I mean, with Seattle and in Say Anything, and in my movie Singles, he shows you kind of a whole different side of it. Now, this is really, this was released right as the grunge movement is getting going in music.
Right.
And all of these musicians who go on to be, superstars in rock and roll are part of the movie, and they're so excited to be part of the movie. So you see Alice in Chains, you see Chris Cornell in Soundgarden, you see him in the picture right here. The members from Eddie Vedder and the members of Pearl Jam are part of Matt Dillon's band. Matt Dillon is hilarious in this movie.
He is.
He when I was, a kid, Matt Dillon is in, My Bodyguard and The Outsiders, and he's always he's a dick, right? I mean, he's mean, right. And he's a guy that you don't like. But then with this movie, he starts changing into this really likable, funny comedic actor, and he's in Something About Mary later on. He's so funny. But I think this is Cameron Crowe's most underrated movie. It's fantastic. The movie, the music is great. Intertwining stories that all hook up at the end. Really, really funny. If you haven't seen Singles, treat yourself to that. Good view of Seattle, good view of the Seattle music scene, and just a great movie by a great director.
That's a great choice.
I'm not this. I need to.
You're gonna love this movie.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
You need to see that. Cheesehead edits. points out a great line from Say Anything, too. Remember this one, Andy? What's your plan, son? I hope to spend every moment possible with your daughter, sir.
He's like, no, seriously. He's like, no, I am serious.
I am serious. And also, back to Say Anything for a moment, maybe as perfect as an ending gets, where they're just looking for the light to come on because he's trying to reassure she's scared to fly. He's like, once that light comes on, you're fine. And then ding, and credits. Mr. Movie's choice is The Ring. And this is a horror movie that takes place in Seattle, and this is truly scary. This is it's really well done, and it. Have you both seen this?
I haven't. I haven't yet. No, I haven't.
It's good.
How old? This movie was a while ago, right?
Yeah, maybe 20 years or so.
I do need to see this movie.
It is good, but it'll keep some people up at night. It's really well done.
I'll be watching it by myself. I can't get any takers around here. I can't even talk about scary movies.
Yeah, this is not for anybody who doesn't want to see a scary movie. It's a good choice from Seattle. AD, what are you going with out of Seattle?
Yeah, I went with like another generation of teen movie in 10 Things I Hate About You. This hit when I was in high school. It's a retelling of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, some of the stars of it. But yeah, this is like a millennial classic. It's of its time for sure. They dress like you did in 1999. They talk like you did in 1999. But it holds up. It's a really good movie, and it's really, especially post Heath Ledger's death, looking back on like the movies he actually made, it's like, damn, he was an underrated actor even before The Joker and The Dark Knight.
And this is a movie, we kind of forget this because we think of him as the Joker. That's the scene that most comes to mind. But this made him a national heartthrob.
Yes.
Like women were swooning about him. And there's that great scene where Julia Stiles, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's the star. She's reading the 10 things and she gets emotional. And it's like it gets to you. This is really well done. It's a good movie.
He's got a scene where he's walking around the bleachers singing a song to her, and yeah, you're exactly right. He became a heartthrob.
All right, I know Mr. Movie couldn't be here this week, and I was looking forward to people's reaction of his review of the Naked Gun reboot with Liam Neeson, because I think this is a movie that many people expected Mike Woody would probably not like, and he loved it. He is grading it an A. He said it is the funniest movie of the year, and he found it funnier than the original. And that's kind of, people are leaving the theaters loving this. It has really good reviews and a good audience score.
Yeah, people love this. And I think that everybody was so worried about it, us included.
Because me too.
The original and then even the sequels are so classic. I just watched the original movie with my wife last week, kind of preparing for this, and it holds up. It's hilarious. So I think everybody was worried about this, but it seems to be hitting.
Murph, you sent me a clip of Liam Neeson on Ricky Gervais's show, which was called, what was the name of that show? It was so funny. He was on. The Ricky Gervais show that he was on HBO.
With, Life's Too Short.
Life's Too Short.
With Warwick Davis.
Yeah, with Warwick Davis. Yeah. It's a Warwick Davis' show is what it is. Yeah, that's not Ricky Gervais' show. He produced it, or probably directed it as well. But Warwick Davis is the star. But they're talking to Liam Neeson at the table, and Liam Neeson is playing himself, and he's telling him, how he makes lists for everything, and he was trying to make a list. And he's like, that's actually why Spielberg cast me in Schindler's List. And they're like, that's why? And
they both start laughing, and he's like,
he's
why
just
are you laughing?
Yeah. So he's pretty good. So I will get, Liam Neeson is a great actor. I love Naked Gun, but I just thought the fact that he's Drebin, I was like, why don't they make him somebody else with Police Squad? But I'll give this a chance. I don't think I'm going to think it's funnier than the original.
Well, I don't think you will either. It'd be tough to reach that bar.
The Liam Neeson Pam Anderson relationship is launching this to
Headlines
another
right
level
right.
because everybody just loves it. All their media, the press tour they're doing, everybody thinks it's so cute. Everybody's just like rooting for these two people. So I think that's part of it as well.
And Pam Anderson just showing up over and over again with no makeup on right now is throwing everybody spinning everybody out. She's great. She's feeling good about how she looks at this stage of her life. It's great. It's hard to recognize her.
Yeah. I think the thing that maybe it might work better than you think as far as Liam Neeson goes is, you're younger than me, but you forget that Leslie Nielsen was the straight man, the classically trained actor in movies for like 20, 25 years. And then when they put him in these slapstick movies, part of what made him so funny was that he continued to play it straight, like perfectly. And I think that's what Liam Neeson is doing here, like he did with Ricky Gervais when they're doing the improvisational comedy. He doesn't come out of really serious, threatening, Liam Neeson menacing fashion, and he plays it straight. So I would guess that's the way he plays this. I haven't seen it yet, but I am looking forward to it. I'll give it a chance.
I'll give it a chance.
Glad that Mr. Movie liked it, and Mr. Movie, we hope you're back next week. It is time now for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns, backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto, treating you like family in Ankeny, Waukee, Knoxville, Boone, and Creston, an authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Andy, Ben Jacobson, and you and I have agreed to a new 5-year rolling contract, meaning he will always have 5 years left on his deal. He's the winningest coach in UNI history, also hasn't been to an NCAA tournament since 2016. Has Jacobson earned the right to stay as long as he wants at UNI?
Yeah, he has. I think Ben Jacobson would probably he'd be the first person to tell you that he wants things to get better at UNI. Maybe he needs to work harder and change his approach a little bit along with the times. But I mean, Ben Jacobson is the best coach in UNI basketball history. He did things that just shouldn't be able to be done at that school, and he still is very well connected, highly respected. He's the dean of Missouri Valley Conference coaches. But honestly, I mean, what has happened at Drake has taken a bite out of his, out of his, almost just kind of out of his value right now. It's kind of, it's made it look a little bit easier to do, I guess. But Ben Jacobson was doing all this kind of stuff when Creighton and Wichita State are still in the Valley, and it's highly competitive, and it's just a much different landscape. But he's got to live in the here and now. UNI has to win under these current parameters right now, and he's kind of got to prove that he can still do that. But we like him a lot personally. I think he's great for that school. He truly wants to be there. And if I were a UNI fan, I would be happy about this.
I think UNI fans should be happy as well, and I think he has earned a contract extension like this. I agree with everything Andy said. I think I'd qualify it a little bit, like if it just were to take a turn where it seems like it's not working at all, or they just start losing all the time. I don't think you could keep riding that, but I don't expect that out of someone the character of Ben Jacobson. I think he will evolve, and he's going to need to. These are really challenging times for a place like UNI and Drake too. I mean, it's not easy in this NIL world that they're in, but within reason, he has earned it. I'd put the one caveat there if like he suddenly looked like a guy that just wants to be retired, and the results showed that, but I cannot imagine that from Ben Jacobson.
Murph, the Milwaukee Brewers have won 6 in a row, 11 of 12. They're 3 games ahead of the second best record in baseball. Are the Brewers a legitimate World Series contender?
Absolutely. I mean, they've proven, I think, that they're contenders. I mean, they don't have as much talent. They don't have the payroll. I don't think anybody would take the Brewers against the field or anything like that, but they have those intangibles that sometimes clubs that don't have as much talent as other clubs find a way to keep winning. And I wouldn't be shocked if they took this all the way to the World Series.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. I mean, there's a bit of a stigma against the Brewers that, they'll put up these really good regular seasons and then they find a way to kind of melt in the playoffs, and they need to get past that. But they've changed over their manager. They have a lot of new parts. There's no reason to believe that, the unit that they've got right now is going to be troubled by what's happened in the past.
All right, Andy, Iowa Chill posted this. There are roughly 25 million pigs in Iowa, 3 million people. So if the pigs turn on us, each individual would have to fight off a minimum of 8 pigs, and I don't know if we could do it. Let's bring you back to the one gorilla versus 100 men conversation. Andy, if the pigs turn on us, 8 versus 1, who you got?
Are you
Humans or
barehanded, or do you have a gun?
I think you're barehanded.
We're in trouble then.
I think we're in trouble. Yeah, pigs are huge, and man, like anybody that's run up against like a boar that's still got his balls and stuff. I mean, those suckers are mean, man. I mean, they're really mean. They're tough. They're huge, and plus, I mean, you got to think like half the population, a bunch of wussies. They're not going to be able to take 8 pigs. What are they going to do? They're not going to pull their weight.
I don't think I could take 8 pigs.
No, I don't think so.
As things stand now, we win easily. But if you're saying we have no weapons of any kind, I don't think this ends well for us. But as things stand now, I think if the pigs could overtake us, they already would.
Okay, but let's throw in weapons. You would have to get a weapon. Like, I don't have a gun in my house. If 8 times 4 pigs attacked my family, we're screwed, man.
But don't
my
you
dad
think
would be okay? He'd have rifles and shotguns, and
but they would already attack us if they thought they could. They're not smart enough. We've got this covered.
All right, that's throwdowns.
Now it's time for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD squared.
I love taking dumb arguments seriously. Game Day Men's Health brings us the audio drop each and every show. We appreciate their support. You can appreciate what they do for men's health. Just go to Game Day in Ankeny, West Des Moines, North Liberty, wherever you are. There's a Game Day near you. Saw this on Twitter. Carson Fowler, who's a young sportscaster in Green Bay, Wisconsin, he posted this yesterday, and he said, "This is what a miscommunication with your producer looks like on live television."
And that'll pretty much do it in sports. Thanks. Brewers entering tonight's game with Atlanta, having won 6 of their last 7.
So he thought the sportscast was over. It wasn't.
We've been there.
We've
been there.
What happened there?
I think he was. I haven't heard any details of this, but I think he
sounds like he was
thought
wrapping it up.
Rap.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Go, keep talking." I think this has happened to me in the past month. Quickie poll results are presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
Who benefits most from the NFL owning part of ESPN? This is a close vote here. The NFL benefits most, says 48% of the people. 47% say it's ESPN.
Wow.
3% of the people say other networks and leagues. Not sure about that argument. And 2% say the fans.
God, hopefully this isn't more Stephen A. Smith. This doesn't equal more Stephen A. Smith, does it?
Shit. I don't know, probably. I hope not, but
I would say this is going to turn ESPN into the NFL network, but it mostly already is anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
if there's something going on in the NFL,
the NFL.
They're leading with NFL every single time. All
Hey,
right, Murph, good job today,
part of
man.
Murph and Andy.
You did well.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be with you guys. Jenny, thank you for waiting. It's after 9 p.m. here. We haven't eaten
it looks
dinner
nice
yet.
there as the sun has gone down. You have that light on you now.
I felt this way when Andy was on. It is hard when you're on live together to get your mind around. Now, wait, it's after 9 p.m. where they are. Yep, I'm in the future. I mean, you guys have hours before you catch up to where I am. I'll give you some betting tips.
Yeah,
that's right. All right, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. Don't forget that Andy and AD and Scott will all be out at the State Fair Friday for a live show out there. AD, don't forget to put your name on the graphic.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I will.
There you go. All right. If you get a chance, please like and subscribe. We're back Friday, and we hope you are too.
Murph and Andy was brought to you by Ramsey Subaru on Hickman Road in Urbandale.